sure making the fans happy. He's taking his time getting the gang undone. There's a lot of pressure concerning those ropes. He's 500 and something pounds, and Tommy Gilbert says, I can't get him out. And Dr. Death, once again punishing the one-man gang, who has been tied very, very precariously in those ropes. And the gang now, Dr. Death, I thought might move in right there for the kill with the gang, rolling to the outside. And Akbar, well, that's a fatherly talk, huh? Akbar giving the instructions. Akbar, I don't think really cares about winning the 50 grand as much as he cares about one of his men having the distinction of winning the first Pro Wrestling Illustrated Open Tournament and being declared the toughest man in the UWF. I think most fans around the country will agree with me that if you have that distinction, you would be indeed considered by all that know the toughest man in wrestling, period. In case closed, as the big cat Ernie Ladd used to say. The big man, 6'9", 495, crawls back into the ring. And this match has been contested, I think, much like people have predicted, very cautiously, because as big and as strong as these men are, one mistake, one striking offensive maneuver, and it's all over as the one-man gang now opens up on Steve Dr. Death Williams and the gang. Those big, big right-handed blows to the head of Steve Dr. Death Williams. And Dr. Death, like Ted DiBiase, suffered neck problems for the rest of his career at the hands of the Freebirds. But other wrestlers know these weak links. They know what to work on. And the gang, with Akbar as his mentor, and studying film and scouting opponents as they do, certainly knows that Dr. Death is perhaps the only weak link in that stallion, in that seemingly unflappable armor that he calls a body, and it is armor, maybe his neck. I don't know of any other weak area. His arm seems to be 100%. I know his knee, from the knee surgery, those problems have been corrected, but that neck injury will be with him forever. One-man gang with a big elbow and Steve Dr. Death Williams. The gang can make maneuvers that look very, very elementary, very fundamental. He can make them so vicious because he is such a big, big man. Hope you'll join us with all of our action. We really enjoyed doing our Power Pro Wrestling program right here in the state of Texas from Billy Bob's, next to Billy Bob's at the Cowtown Coliseum. You can watch that exciting program every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock here on 39 Gold. New addition to the wrestling lineup every weekend right here on Channel 39 Gold. Dr. Death, hammered and hammered at the hands of the one-man gang. And another right hand, and Dr. Death, I know, has got to use some technique, he's got to use some strategy and get back on the offensive, because earlier in the match, when he was on the offensive, in my opinion, he really had the one-man gang reeling. Doc trying to pull himself away, but his momentum took him right on into the corner. And the gang just walks right in those right hands. He's not too fancy to admit he is sadistic. And the gang went for that standing splash, for lack of a better description, but Dr. Death moved out of the way, and man, what a right hand. Dr. Death, that football tackle back those gang. Dr. Death getting the gang up with a body slam. A modified slam. It was not the stampede, but it was a modified slam. What strength. Dr. Death to those tackles. And now Dr. Death, Steve Williams. I said if he get the stampede of the gang, it'd be over. couldn't see if he went down for 3. Obviously he did not. And the gang fighting away at the face of Steve Dr. Death Williams, but what phenomenal strength. No one in the UWF that I have seen has ever picked up the gang, and Dr. Death has done it twice in this match. But unfortunately, he was not able to stampede the gang, and the gang has just bitten and hammered away in that vicious attack, and Dr. Death has been busted and is bleeding here on Houston Wrestling. If you just joined us, remember that this is the final match in the Nationwide Pro Wrestling Illustrated UWF Finals. This tournament for $50,000, and the winner will have the distinction of being the toughest man in the UWF. That is quite a tall order. And Dr. Death, referee Tommy Gilbert checking Doc. I guarantee you, Doc won't quit. This is putting the feet on the line. This is letting it all out. These aren't cartoon characters. Bodybuilders. These are tough men hammering each other in the toughest pro wrestling association in the world today, the Universal Wrestling Federation, and it's home right here in Houston, Texas, as Dr. Death fighting back. He's in marvelous condition, but how much longer can he go? And how much longer can the gang go? Dr. Death is electrifying, man. Dr. Death says, I'm going outside. Dr. Death's got the medal. He's moving furniture. It's one fall to a finish. And Dr. Death with that chair right to the face and head of the one-man gang, and he's wearing the gang out with that metal chair. He hit the gang and square the face. He can hit somebody in the gang. My gosh! The gang has been busted. I mean, from his forehead, his face, his nose busted open by Dr. Death. As Dr. Death hitting the gang right in the face with that steel chair. This is UWF action at its finest. This is man on man. And it's down for the clothesline. Boy, this crowd is into it. The gang powers out, and he is bleeding profusely. This is the finals. 50 grand on the line. Winner take all. 2, what a collision. Down goes the referee. Down goes the gang and Dr. Death as well. Remember, Dr. Death has lost a lot of blood. The gang is bleeding profusely at this time. The referee went down. Look at the gang. I've never seen it. It's a bloody mess. There's Akbar. The referee is down, and Akbar with that running drop to the back of the head of Dr. Death.
So